This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, police crack down on distracted drivers as thousands in Dunedin flout the law. A $15,000 donation arrives at the right time for a local service that's experiencing an increase in demand. And why one of our sister city relationships may result in expanding student exchange programs. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Police are cracking down on distracted drivers, particularly those using mobile phones. Just over 2,000 people have been ticketed for the offence in Dunedin since legislation began in 2009. And that's seen more than $160,000 taken from local pockets.
On average, one Dunedin driver gets ticketed for mobile phone use every day, and local police are targeting the bad habit in a 2-week campaign being run across the country. Officers say there's good reason to hammer the message home.
Distractions are the cause of around 12% of all our serious and fatal crashes, so we really want to generate some conversation around why we shouldn't be distracted while we're driving.
It became an offence to use mobile phones while driving in late 2009. Since then, $80 infringement notices have been issued to almost 80,000 drivers nationwide, a ticket take of just over $6.2 million.
Take the temptation away. If you're driving, turn off your phone or put it on silent. Put it where you can't reach it, because when it does go, the temptation's always there. Officers are all over the place, anytime, anywhere. And it's just not worth putting yourself or any other road users at risk.
In Dunedin and throughout the rest of the country, the number of drivers caught using mobile phones is consistently increasing every year, with no end in sight. That's almost $20,000 in fines locally for the first half of this year, and almost $1 million nationwide. Initially, we saw really good compliance.
But certainly over the years we've noticed a real increase in people using their cell phones while driving. So, one person using it's not good enough.
This campaign's halfway through, but local police warn they'll never stop targeting distracted drivers. An ongoing effort to make life safer for all road users. Rosie Mannins, 39 Dunedin News.
Police are investigating a Central City crash between a business van and a commercial truck in which a man was injured. The crash happened about 12:30 this afternoon at the intersection of Cresswell and Tuesley Streets. It involved a McCormick carrying truck and was just outside the transport business's yard. A carpet court van was extensively damaged in the collision. Police say an ambulance was called to attend as a 30-year-old man was injured in the crash. It's not known whether his injuries are considered serious. Officers are still determining the cause of the crash. Council contractors were called to clear the road of glass and debris. A monetary donation is proving invaluable for one local youth counselling service. Youthline Otago has received $15,000 in the latest round of funding by the Otago Community Trust. And staff say it's come at a good time with more people than ever needing the service.
Lending an ear to young locals in crisis. Demand for Youthline Otago's free counselling services on the up, prompting an increase of a third in volunteer numbers. And manager Brian Lowe says he foresees further expansion of the organisation's work.
The need is growing. In fact, pretty quickly we've seen a 50% increase in the usage of our helpline service in the last 12 months.
In that time, local volunteers have done over 1,000 more hours of work than in the previous year. And Lowe attributes the rise in demand to increasing difficulties in finding the right service.
A lot of charities are struggling, so the people who can't access other services because they're closing or reducing their availability actually finding us, but the need is growing, definitely. Yeah, we're seeing a lot more what we call incidences.
Youthline primarily fields calls, texts and emails from teenagers and those in their 20s. But Lowe says calls are coming in from children as young as 8. The subjects of anxiety, suicide, depression and bullying are increasingly being discussed. And with the local need and scope growing, Lowe says the Community Trust's $15,000 grant will make all the difference.
We do get a quarter of our funding from the government, from Ministry of Social Development, but the rest of it has to be raised by Youthline Otago here, absolutely by ourselves. So for people like Otago Community Trust to support us, it's just amazing.
The recent donation will go towards Youthline Otago's day-to-day running costs, as opposed to a big-ticket item, ensuring staff and volunteers are able to help those who need it most without worrying about the organisation itself. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Police are investigating the theft of thousands of dollars worth of cricket gear stolen from an unlocked car. About $3,000 worth of bats, pads and gloves were stolen, as well as an aqua suitcase and a pair of pants. The items were taken from a car parked inside an unsecured garage in Esther Crescent. Officers are also investigating the theft of 20 metres of copper spouting from a Chadwick Street yard, where 3 cars were also entered and tools taken. Police are contacting local scrap metal dealers in a bid to find the copper before it's melted down for cash. A Chinese university delegation is in town to deepen ties with Otago Polytechnic. It's the first visit by staff of the Shanghai University of International Business and Economics. And with talk of greater collaboration, the trip is unlikely to be their last.
A meeting of the minds. These representatives from a Shanghai business school are meeting their Otago Polytechnic partners for the first time. The Chinese university offers a summer program for local polytechnic students to immerse themselves in global economics and business.
The Polytech's had ties with the university for around about 5 years and has sent students each year on the summer school, which happens in June. And we've had approximately sort of 20 to 25 students going on the exchange so far.
Students from different departments all over the Polytechnic are involved. Terpstra has 3 students from the Food Design Institution taking part this year, and she says it's an amazing opportunity.
I think it's a really important relationship, and our students have really benefited from the opportunity to go on the summer school that the university offers and to experience a little bit of Chinese culture and life in Shanghai.
Delegates aim to maintain the relationship with the Polytechnic and take it further to include more student exchanges. And Terpstra says this visit's an ideal opportunity for the mutually beneficial discussions.
The university's been very, very generous in taking the students in for the summer schools. So we have a number of relationships with universities in China. So I imagine that we would want to broaden this relationship and have it, slightly more reciprocal than it is at the moment.
This is just one of several stops on the delegation's Australasian tour. And with more exchanges in the pipeline, the Polytechnic's international ties are set to strengthen even further. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, a local MP shares the attributes he's looking for in the city's next youth parliamentarian. And we'll find out what's behind a surge in popularity for one particular form of tennis.
Obviously, as the Department of Corrections, our primary focus is on ensuring public safety. Corrections facilities or prisons are almost self-sufficient communities in our own right. For some prisons, putting interventions, giving them options as far as interventions go that are designed around making them more positive members of the community when they return to it.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Pallet fires are growing in popularity in Otago, with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pallet fires, so easy, so efficient.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boys store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices is just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget, we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, your guaranteed a treat.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
Hundred and 28 tracks, dynamic automation, dual faders, and totally digital. This is state-of-the-art music production. The SSL Digital Console. You'll find one in the BBC studios in London, another at CBS studios in New York, and now one at the University of Otago. It's a good reason why our sound now sounds even better. My name is Maddie Parkins Craig, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Big Orange, for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's Oat Singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's Oat Singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
Here's something else to look forward to sinking your teeth into every weekend with the Otago Daily Times. The Weekend Mix, your guide to what's hot in fashion, entertainment, food and more. New weekend magazine in your ODT. Pick up your copy this Saturday.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Welcome back. The latest quarterly GDP figures show a slight increase with growth in several industries. Agricultural production has risen 3% despite falling milk prices and last summer's dry conditions. Food, beverage and tobacco manufacturing is also up, along with the mining industry. That's grown 2.5% to recover from recent falls. Overall, household spending is up, with increases in fruit and vegetable purchases, as well as big-ticket items like cars and furniture. The economy is sitting at around $240 billion. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 18 points. It's now at 5,712. The ASX 200 is up 38 points. And to the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar closes the week up against all the major currencies we monitor. Dunedin North MP David Clark is about to select his next youth parliamentarian. Youth Parliament is a 3-yearly opportunity for young Kiwis to represent their peers and experience democracy in action. And Dr Clark is here to tell us more about it. Good evening.
Good evening, Rebecca.
What is the process of selecting a youth MP?
Well, applicants go to my website, davidclark.org.nz/youth parliament, and on there's a form that takes about 4 minutes to fill out, and they put in an application. Those applications are closing this Sunday, so anyone who knows someone who'd make a good youth MP, who's in their final couple of years of school or about to be, should encourage them to apply. When the applications are all in, we may have to do a second round. It looks like there's some good applications in there, but I will sit down with the previous youth MP that I had, Bok Yong Mun, and another youth MP that was in town, Ingie Johnston, and we'll go through, decide if there needs to be another round, another exercise. We've got to decide by October the 9th who would be a good representative, and we make a recommendation then to Ministry of Youth Development, and they pick up the youth MP and we run from there.
What attributes are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for someone who's engaged with their peers, someone who's kind of interested in the role, obviously, has done a bit of research to find out how they can have influence in the role, but also, I guess, ultimately someone who wants to make the world a better place.
What will they do as a youth MP?
Well, as a youth MP, they're the youth MP for the whole of 2016. And that means that during the year they get to leverage that role. They can use it pretty much as they like. Bok Yung, when she was my youth MP, set up a youth council that advised me on the issues affecting youth, and that really helped me in my ongoing efforts to make sure that I am representing the youth of Dunedin well. And then in July they go into Youth Parliament for a couple of days and represent Dunedin in that environment, and have debates and do the whole shebang, and it's quite an experience.
What do they learn from it?
Well, I think they learn how democracy works, you know, the processes in Parliament, but also on the ground here in Dunedin, what makes a successful campaign. How do you affect change about issues that really matter, be they climate change or child poverty or whatever the issues are that young people are concerned about that they want to represent in this role. In the past, it's been about democratic engagement, you know, and drug issues and things like that. And young people want to know how to better represent their own interests, so they get the opportunity to see all of that up close and influence the process.
How do you hope that the youth MP will work in the community?
Well, I hope they'll work similarly to how Bok Yung did things like street murals and organised that. She's just done a rafting trip, I think, which was featured on your program down the West Coast. Do things that draw attention to issues that you care about. I've got a forum coming up with Annette King coming to talk about health cuts Monday week at noon at Knox Church. And a youth MP might be somebody who helps get youth along, helps make sure that the concerns around youth, healthcare, mental health issues are brought to the fore in a forum like that. So there's always going to be lots of opportunities around events that are going on in town and making new opportunities.
What have some of your previous youth MPs achieved?
Well, I've mentioned some of the examples, obviously. I think that youth council that was set up was neat from my perspective. Meeting regularly with young people, some of whom were youth MPs, some of whom were representatives from schools, and getting a sense of what was going on for them and what they wanted to have represented in Parliament was really valuable. And I hope that whoever is the lucky youth MP is as good as those I've had in the past.
Dunedin North MP David Clark, thank you so much for your time. Good luck.
Thanks, Rebecca.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, we'll find out which sport is making something of a comeback, and we'll take a look at the results of this week's online poll.
Do you want support for your breathing? You are not alone. In New Zealand, over 600,000 people have some form of breathing difficulty, especially with the high pollen season in New Zealand. Puff Plus is an excellent natural product developed to support lung function and breathing difficulties. Puff Plus is so effective, you get a no questions asked, money-back guarantee on the first purchase. Give it a go, you have nothing to lose. Call now, 0800 502 402. Take as directed. If symptoms persist, see your healthcare professional.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product, and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Big Orange, for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
I understand now how economics can affect global warming.
And I found out how grass growth in New Zealand affects Fashion Week in Milan.
I can even tell you how smartphone technology affects the survival of mountain gorillas.
Sorry.
Because at the Otago Business School, it's not just about the world of business, it's how business affects the world.
I'm Kim. Michaela.
David. And this is our place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Pallet fires are growing in popularity in Otago with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pallet fires, so easy, so efficient.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boys store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices is just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, your guaranteed a treat.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
We can't guarantee what people will do once they leave here, but we can sure as hell try to make it better. We're making headways, especially with our offenders going out and the integration between our industries and the outside industries, like the real stuff. Society just needs to give these guys a chance.
Welcome back. An unlikely sport is gaining traction among the city's youth. More than 50 Year 7 and 8 pupils are taking part in an annual table tennis competition over several weeks, and organisers hope it will boost participation in all levels of the game.
Whack. Dozens of intermediate school students from around the city are at Kaikrai Valley College for a spot of table tennis. The sport's gaining popularity in Dunedin with a 10% increase in club participation over the last couple of years. And Otago table tennis coach Martin Duffy says that's thanks to a push to attract younger players.
The sport was most probably was ageing a wee bit, so I think Otago table tennis realised they had to really start at the bottom, and so there's a good number of younger people playing into club now, and the signs are that it'll be getting bigger and better every year.
The tournament's been run since 2013 with a record 30 teams entered this year. And Duffy says it's great to see so many kids getting the hang of table tennis, despite it not being the easiest sport to pick up.
It's most probably one of the harder racket sports to play because you're so close to the opposition and there's so much spin involved, and it's so fast as well. But you learn to play slowly and then gradually build your speed up, and doing that you get the spin appreciation at the same time.
Duffy says the main aim of the competition is to encourage new people into the sport and show the pathways available for progression. And he says there's plenty of inspiration locally for the young players to draw on.
We've had some good players out of this over the last couple of years, so the standard in Dunedin's getting quite good now, and we're starting to sort of threaten nationally quite good.
The competition runs for several weeks with the majority of matches set for next term. A chance for these players to get in as much practice as possible over the pending school holidays. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Well, the government is considering a request to establish a refugee resettlement centre in Dunedin. The suggestion by Mayor Dave Cull is being met with support as well as opposition from residents. We put that question to you in this week's 39 Dunedin News online poll. Should a refugee resettlement centre be established here? It seems that 57% of you are in favour of that, 43% of you are not. Well, as we reported earlier, local police are cracking down on distracted drivers as part of a nationwide campaign. The number of people caught using mobile phones behind the wheel has increased every year since it became an offence. Next week's 39 Dunedin News online poll asks you what you find most distracting. You can find a variety of choices to vote on at our website dunedintv.co.nz. And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Police are targeting distracted drivers as an increasing number of people flout the law by using mobile phones behind the wheel. Youthline Otago staff are welcoming a recent donation with demand for the counselling service doubling in the last year. And delegates from a Shanghai university are furthering ties with Otago Polytechnic, planning to expand student exchange programs. Well, it's time now to find out what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times, and Phil Somerville is with us. Good evening.
Yes, hi Rebecca. Well, we all know the Rugby World Cup finally begins, and on page 1 tomorrow the plan is there's a nice big picture of Ben Smith and a lovely, gorgeous picture of Ben Smith's baby. So look out for that. There's disbelief that the cost of strengthening the old courthouse for earthquake reasons is 15 million, as is claimed. Builders and engineers around town just can't believe it. It seems far too much. There's the new ID Fashion Committee chairwoman, and her idea is to grow the event, and of course tomorrow there's a mix, all sorts of things in there, and so look for that.
Thank you, Phil. That's tomorrow's ODT. Time now for local weather. Well, around the city today at 3 o'clock, it was a little cool, 12 degrees in the central city, 10 at the Gardens and 11 degrees out on the Tyree. Well, tonight we have some showers and strong cold southerlies to look forward to, plus a little bit of snow to 200 metres if you're good. 5 degrees is tonight's low. Wintry showers tomorrow, but they will clear during the day. Those cold southerlies will ease as well. We are expecting a measly high of 8 degrees. And on Sunday, which is most likely going to be the best day for washing, mostly fine and sunny with a high of 9. And to the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information, high tide tomorrow morning is at 7:30, and fishing conditions look to be quite good tomorrow, especially around 4:45 in the afternoon. Well, that is all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News for this week. We will leave you now with some shots from the week that was, and we'll see you again on Monday. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.